Okay, welcome back, Ryan Herrick. We had a little intercession. We were talking about the intersection between being an engineer with scholarly endeavors and your recreation and personal activities. So, tell us what it means for you to be able to build a bicycle.
So, I mean, the biggest thing about building anything is being able to make something work for you. And of course, bicycle is one of the most efficient machines in the engineering world. Um, the amount of power that you put at the pedals is taken and converted at a very high efficiency, 99% almost. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing to think about, when you're taking something that is just to get you from A to B, but even making it more effective by making it more user friendly or making it more, say, putting a motor on it and making it so you can go farther or you can go faster. I think building a bike from the ground up is really awesome because it's a piece of art. It's a piece of creation, and I really like making things lighter, faster, stronger, and that's kind of why I want to do it. And I mean, from manufacturing, I spent the last 7 years, I think I said, 7 years in design with manufacturing focus, and learning that and wanting to be able to apply that to make a bike more cost effective so more people can afford it, or another goal of mine and ours is to bring bike manufacturing back to the United States, because it's been at least on the consumer product, bicycles have not been made in the U.S. for a long time. Taiwan and China, that part of the world really owns the supply chain, so it's still going to be hard. Bringing components over here is still going to be necessary, but I mean, making the bike frame here and doing it at a reasonable cost is the main goal.
So, what is the biggest barrier between you and your dream realized?
Well, I mean, now it's time, but it's time or money, really. Either have the money to invest in it or time to invest in it without sacrificing other things. So I think one or the other is going to come through. We're working on starting a smaller venture, doing bike repair as well as selling bicycles, which either will supplement my income or replace it, and focus more on that industry. But at least for the next year or two, really focusing on what I do now and learning a lot about the manufacturing processes that I work with and new ones, and helping customers design products that are in the cycling industry. That's really what I'm focused on right now.
What kind of bike shop is it that you're wanting to open?
There's a couple facets to what we want to open. So the number one thing is a family bike shop, something where families can come in and be comfortable buying bicycles or just buying components or getting their bike repaired. I'm thinking like accessories, I guess, for families. Bike trailers, attachments like bike seats. I think the other facet is e-bikes is the main part of the business that we're focused on, is bringing reasonably cost e-bikes to families who really need the transportation, whether or not they're replacing a car or spending more time on their bike or want to go farther or carry their kids or their dog, and doing it as a hobby, but also doing it recreationally together, and bringing people together as families.
So, family, that's a very recurring theme for you. Do you think that bicycles can improve family life for people in Atlanta, where you live?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everywhere we go, we take our cargo bike, we take it out on the trails near our house or the Atlanta Beltline, And whenever our daughter's riding in the trailer, people are just like, oh man, I really want one of those for my kids, or I wish I had that when my kids were young. So I know for a fact that it transforms families, and bringing those types of products and services, the repair services that are affordable, and the number one thing on our list for repair is to have a mobile shop, so that you don't have to bring your bike in. A lot of people don't have a bike rack, so getting the bike to the bike shop is either difficult or impossible for them. So having a mobile shop is number one, to serve families better.
How would you say that bicycle accessibility and mobility is a family social justice issue?
The first question is, do you think that isn't a family social justice?
Well, you've kind of alluded that you believe that bicycles are important for keeping families together. You've talked about the Atlanta Beltline and how that connects people in your city through over 32 miles of neighborhoods, and how bicycles have shaped your life as a member of your family of origin, and how they've shaped your life as a member of your current family as a father and a husband, and even how they infiltrate your work life
Yep.
as an engineer. So
Yeah,
I have concluded that
Yeah. Transportation and safety, in the process of becoming focused, or spending more time riding your bike versus your car is a big deal, because people, everyone, especially in Atlanta, for the last 20 plus years, 30 years, has been car focused. The city has some transportation other than vehicular transportation options, buses, light rail type systems. So I think there's a lot of ability to get more places and get there more efficiently with bikes, especially e-bikes. I know a handful of people who ride their bikes to work using MARTA. So if you are a couple miles from a MARTA station, it's easier to hop on a bike and get to MARTA to get to work or to the store than to take multiple buses or hop the train and go way out of your way. So it's just a social justice issue for individuals and families, because of the cost of ownership of a car is beyond reproach for some people. So whether or not if you work in your neighborhood, why would you spend, say, even $5,000 on a car that you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars a year to keep up, when you can spend a couple $1,000s on a really nice e-bike and spend maybe $100 a year maintaining it? That's at least what I've experienced.
So it's a pretty significant difference.
Absolutely.
So taking a moment back to talk about your life as a professional dad, how do you connect bicycling with raising your child or children as a professional dad?
Yeah, I guess we've kind of talked about this, but I'm thinking more so about how our children think about the world. I think it's really nice to see the world in a way where you don't have to have a car, or where you can get your exercise on your way to work, or you're spending time together, not trapped in a car. And as much as bicycling can be dangerous, if you do things right, it's safer statistically than riding in a car, especially if you're not riding on roads. And part of what we want to do is be involved in the community and help develop paths and education, bike paths, but also the education for families, so that they're aware of how to ride safely on the road, or ride safely crossing the road, or just look out for each other. That's pretty important.
Is riding a bicycle safely something that you learned from your family, or something that you had to teach yourself?
A little bit of both. I feel like my parents always made sure I wore a helmet, and we didn't ride on busy roads. I actually think I was pretty lucky as a kid because the neighborhood I lived in was fairly safe, as well as all the sidewalks along the main road where I lived near this. It was actually near the high school and the middle school, which was great, and that area was all. It's kind of like a protected lane, so it was far enough away from the road where you didn't have to worry about cars being too close to your kids, at least for 2-3 miles. So that was nice.